Welcome back. We're here with Kendra from In Bloom Flowers and Gifts in Maumee, Ohio. Kendra, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I
Of
appreciate it.
course, I am very excited. You're the first flower shop that I'm like interviewing, so
Okay.
very excited to dive into your niche and just what you offer. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So you create flower designs for weddings, holiday events, or just like everyday needs. What is your favorite type of event to create these designs for?
Oh, wow. There are a lot of them. I mean, there's something I enjoy about all of them, but I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I really enjoy sympathy work.
Okay.
I really enjoy sitting with families and trying to help them commemorate and celebrate the life of somebody they really loved and cared about. So that I think is probably my favorite.
what what really, like, when you guys are crafting those flowers, what do you really focus on, like, to make sure like something stands out for those families?
Sure. Well, those are some of the things that we do ask them about that person that they're trying to that they want to celebrate. So we ask them about that person. We ask about their likes, their dislikes, the favorite colors, things like that. And so it really helps us hone in on what in what way can we help them um, again celebrate that person's life in a way that's meaningful, that people will walk in a room and go, yes, that reminds me of that person, and here's why. Oh, favorite color is blue, or he loved a truck, and we made an arrangement out of the truck arrangement. Like it's that's that kind of stuff.
That's beautiful. And what is what is your favorite type of flower and why?
Mm. I always say it's like trying to pick your favorite child because
Yeah.
there's no way to pick. I love a different flower for each season almost, but I guess if I had to pick, if you're making me pick,
Yes.
I would say a poppy
Okay.
is one of my very favorite flowers. Just because they're so delicate and yet they're so resilient, and so I really enjoy a poppy.
Interesting.
All
That's
right.
I was not expecting that. Definitely.
Uh,
And when a mother, let's say, gets their flowers for M- Mother's Day, about how long do they last for?
We love to say that our flowers last between 5 and 7 days. And because we kind of say that, we also try to give you tips to help them last longer,
Yeah.
like change the water every day, or you can recut the stems. So we try to give you tips and tricks to help those flowers last as long as possible when you get them home.
And can you kind of talk about your story of entering into the flower business? Like, how did you know that you wanted to create these beautiful flower designs for people?
Well, my mom was always very creative, and I think I come from a long line of women in my family that love flowers. And so I've always had an appreciation. They gardened, they did different things, but I would say my mom, we started working on silk things, and we would create things just for like crafting and craft shows for maybe our church or something like that. But then I also met a dear friend of mine, and she had started at another flower shop here in the area when she was 14 and kind of worked her way up to designer. And so she was helping me on an event. And she said, Kendra, I think you could do fresh flowers. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, I think you could. And so I'd never really attempted that before. And so, with her encouragement, kind of gave it a go and really found my medium.
Yeah.
I always tell people I can't paint, I can't draw, but my medium is flowers. So I really enjoy that. So yeah,
So this is like an art form for
it
you.
is an art form for me. Very much so. Very much so. Blending the colors and making sure that they work to the color palette works together, and just all of the design concepts of leading your eye around an arrangement, and creating those that depth and textures that just really come to life in 3D effect.
And can you talk about your hand tied bouquets?
uh Hand tied bouquets, I think that's something that we've focused on, and my daughter Emily has really excelled at. And a lot of people say, well, I don't need another vase, and it's true, you don't. Most people don't need another vase. They either have a favorite vase they like to use, or maybe a couple. And so we give people the option of whether if you like a hand tied bouquet, which is what we design it right in our hands, and then we use something called bind wire. So we bind it together and then we can have that delivered straight to you. So the customer can either take it out of the store or we can put a water source on it and then we can and have that delivered to their home. So or business or wherever they want it to go. And so it'll still keep drinking. So you can take your flowers with you. So it's just another way I think of saving people a little bit of money as far as having to have a vase. Or and we fill vases too. So if you have a favorite vase, you can bring that in and
Beautiful.
we'll fill that. And so kind of yeah, we like to do that.
And with this being a art form for you,
Hmm.
how do you go about deciding what flowers to put together and to put in what vase and just the whole process of that?
Well, again, I think it goes back to our questions for customers. I think sometimes our customers think we ask a lot of questions, but there's a reason for it because that tells us and directs us as to what direction we want to go. You know, we'll ask, well, where do you envision this person putting this piece, or what does their home look like? And sometimes they'll volunteer that information, but sometimes we ask, and so that really helps us. And I think also, using our fresh flowers that are some of them are locally grown. Our cooler is different in that we're seasonal. Like we love to choose flowers that are in season locally. So we have a lot of ability to say, this is what I know is in my cooler. Let me create something that, I have some stunning yellow roses in, or I have some beautiful pink zinnias. And so we can kind of craft that by looking in our cooler and kind of knowing what we have and by asking those questions.
I love it. How has building a business with your daughter changed your perspective of her?
On my daughter. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I never thought that my dream would be her dream. And so I'm really tickled that it is. And she surprised me. She has made me so proud. And not every mother and daughter team could work together in
Yeah,
business, I think, together. So I think what we have is really special. And yeah, I think that just how she goes about, attacking her role here and how much she's grown has just, again, made me very, very proud. And, she's my daughter, but she's also, a beautiful designer and brilliant at what she does with our social media and things like that. So I just have a utmost respect for her as much as my mom's full heart of love for her as well. So yeah, I'm truly blessed.
that's awesome. I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with two people,
Oh my gosh.
one person from the past
Okay.
and one person from the present,
Mm.
who would it be and why?
Okay. Do I have to go in those
Nope,
order
you
or
can, nope.
okay. Let's see. A person now. Gosh, it would probably be somebody in the design field just so that I could pick their brain, like somebody that has done this. I have a few designers that I'm really respect their talents. I respect their vision for how they've gone about doing what they do. So I think it would be somebody, in the design field. There's a couple designers I follow that, I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to speak to or be in a conference or something with them, but one that comes to mind, I do follow her on Instagram. So Holly, if you're watching or listening, but Holly Chapel, she's amazing lady. She's in the Virginia area. She's a beautiful event designer and she's a mom and she has this beautiful farm and she's now widowed and she is still going and thriving and making her business viable to support her children and herself. And she's just amazing. So I think I would love to have dinner with Holly and just really pick her brain. And from the past, man, that's a tough one. There are so many people that I admire and would be so thrilled to have dinner with. This is wide open, Easton. This is hard. Man, uh, I guess I hate to belabor this because it's like I could probably choose about 10 people and now you caught me and I'm like, who would I pick? So I would probably say Mother Teresa. And just because of her giving and nature and her ministry to others and just seeing, uh, humanity and yeah, her love for others and yeah, that would probably be who I'd pick.
Two great ones.
Yeah.
W-
Mm-mm-mm.
We need to try to get you in contact with Holly.
Well,
Yeah,
thank
that would
you. Yes, that would be awesome.
be incredible. One more question for you.
Sure.
Why did you decide to partner with us and offer the discounts?
Well, Easton, I would say just because of you are such a joy, and you're always so happy when I see you at all the events, and you're excited about what you're doing. And I love that excitement that you have, that passion for what you're doing. And so I was like, yes, I have to do this because, I too took a chance, on a business and stepping out there. And so I totally believe in that entrepreneurial dream that, you get it out there, you work hard, and, you'll make it. And so I really enjoyed, hearing about what you're trying to do. And so, yeah, I'm really excited for you guys and what you're doing. So, yeah, that'd be
Thank you for
fun.
the kind words, and
Yeah.
we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Those are the questions I have for you.
Okay.
How can people find you, and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Okay, so you can find us at newandbloom.com. That's our website. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're there. We've done a couple little things on TikTok. We could probably definitely use that platform more. I'm not as good as video. That's Emily's territory. But and then you can call us at 419-794-3000 as well. So, and then I guess the thing I'd like to leave with everybody is that flowers are something that are just, people say, well, I don't want to buy fresh flowers because they just die. And I heard somebody quote, and it was another designer that quoted this. And I was just so taken aback by the way he said this, that answered the question that I'm like, I need to remember this. And it stuck with me. And that is, flowers are to keep us in the present,
Love that.
to appreciate the present that we're in right now. And yes, they're going to fade, but again, they're just here for a short amount of time. And so be in that present moment wherever you are and enjoy it while you're in the moment. Just take it all in and don't let it, pass you by too quickly.
That's beautiful. I actually
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I
That's
was
great, and it makes
well,
sense.
yes, it does. So thank you
Thank you for
for
coming on
that.
the podcast. I
Um,
appreciate it. It was a
Thank you
great
so much.
conversation.
Thank you very much, Easton. Thanks for having me.